You can only watch it for the first time once. It'll be interesting to see what we catch and what we don't.
This is our only first time.
We know that it's a serialized show.
Have you ever played the video game Mass Effect?
Okay, Tolkien, chill
Putting
out.
some little breadcrumbs.
Jean Paré Chuckle Nugget. This is where Babylon 5 is becoming Babylon 5.
We have the most incredible community out there.
Feels like we're going to continue to go down this rabbit hole.
I was right.
Just trying to put the pieces together.
I was right.
I'm the king, baby.
What? Are you kidding me? Here I go back to Doom, as I often
We're
do.
officially into it, Jeff. 100% so good. It was so completely accurate.
That was great. I love that.
Definitive ranking. I can keep watching the show.
I love it so much.
The year is 2025. The name of the podcast, Babylon 5, for the second time.
Welcome to Babylon 5 for the second time. My name is Brent Allen.
And I'm Jeff Akin. Brent and I used to be Star Trek podcasters, and then we watched Babylon 5 for the first time, and everything changed. So now we're watching this incredible series for the second time, because Babylon 5 is the only series that you get to watch for the first time twice.
You know what we're going to be doing for a second time, but for the first time all over again?
What's that?
Searching for the sci-fi messages that we find contained within the series. We used to call them Star Trek messages, but we grew up, we matured, we got older. We realized Star Trek doesn't have the corner on messages, and we are looking for those ones maybe we missed the first time around, ones that we understand in a new way, maybe ones from the great maker himself that could be contained within this. Now, that being said, this is our second watch, so this is a spoiler warning for anyone out there who has not watched this show before. Jeff and I are allowed, can and will probably quite a bit, mention or reference anything from any point in the timeline, from anywhere in canon, outside of canon, whatever. Everything is fair game for us this time around. So if you haven't watched the show for the first time, please stop the show right now. We're begging you, stop the show. We have a whole unspoiled version of this show with Babylon 5 for the first time. Go join us there. And then when you've gotten through the show, trust us, it's better that way. Catch up, and then we'll meet you back here.
This week, Brent, we're going to have spoilers abound as we watch the episode A Day in the Strife. What do you remember about your first time viewing experience with this one?
Not a dang thing.
Well, there you go.
Not a thing. How about you?
I remember two things. Two things? I remember overall not caring for the episode. Just being like, I don't think I really care for that very much. And then it's got that probe with all the questions thing. And I think that I think this really ramped up my really, really strong feelings about Dr. Franklin. Like when I think of this episode, I have an image of Jakar. Like I know there's some Narn thing that in fact, I think this is the episode Talon comes back. We get his name in this one.
Okay.
But yeah, I just have an image of Dr. Franklin in my mind when I think about this one.
Interesting. I will tell you, I don't remember what this is. Because you could throw Day in the Strife, I'd be like, yeah, that's early season 3, which means I liked it.
Right? Yeah.
Because it's season 3. Like I like season 3. Season 3 is pretty much bangers all the way through, almost. So I probably liked it. That's all I can tell you. But I just don't remember what it's about.
Yeah.
At least that was until I listened to our first episode, our first watch.
Everything changed.
No, I was like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Oh yeah, that's where we do. So I know how we actually felt about it the first time around. Would you like to know?
I'm a little nervous, but yeah.
This one was a huge messages episode, Jeff. I don't know if you realize that or not. You stated very much at the top of the show, we could spend an hour talking about the messages alone.
Oh, wow.
In this episode. When I got all the way down to the end, I said enjoyment wise, it's like a 2.5 because you did Deltas, I did Starfuries. I remember we were separating that back in the day. I said, but because of the messages and how very B5 they were, this was like a 3, 4, 5 Starfury episode. Like it was good because of what all it did, what all it said. But I didn't know what to make of the episode ultimately. Like, was it an episode about gun control? Was it an episode about drug abuse? Was it an episode about not being burned out, not meddling in foreign affairs? And I just listed like all of these different topics that the show could have been about. And it wasn't about any of those things, but it was about all of those things all at the same time.
Okay.
That's that, which I feel like there's a couple of episodes like that.
Right. Yeah. It's just,
did we have like a
all this
Crusade
stuff.
episode? Surely it's not, this is the only episode in Babylon 5 that does that, or including Crusade. Like, it's just, this show just, this episode just didn't know what it wanted to be. And
it's just so interesting because you're saying all this. I don't like you say a drug that that means nothing to me at all. It's
I don't like, even after listening and kind of hearing the recap and everything, there's a few that I'm like, okay, I see where that connects. I see where that connects. But I said this was a good episode. Nothing blew me away. I liked it, but I didn't know why. I liked it, but I didn't love it. That's where I was on this episode. You, my friend, however, said you actually liked it. And you said that the whole point of this episode was just to show you a day in the life on Babylon 5, and life on Babylon 5 sucks.
All right.
That was your idea.
That's a good this episode sucks, but it's supposed to because it's telling you about a day in the life.
No. The episode is fine because living on Babylon 5 sucks.
Yeah.
Like the episode was okay. It's fine. You said there were two key things that mattered in this episode. One, Jakar unifying the resistance under him. Right? Because this is an episode where they send the Centauri try to send a new Narn ambassador to Babylon 5.
Oh, yeah, just dude who shows up, right?
Yeah. Nafar, I think, was his name, right? I think that's where Talon comes back into the whole mix. But you also said, because the other piece of this, the bigger other piece of this was Franklin. This is the episode, Jeff, unless I misunderstood something. This is the episode where he they're like at the nightclub or something, and he's all tired and worn out, and like he goes to the bathroom, shoots up, and then comes back, and he's like Mr. Party.
Yeah.
Right? And you said Franklin's STEM thing is going to be a thing.
Oh,
you're making a prediction. You're throwing it out there. His STEM thing's going to be a thing.
To reach.
Recognizing the seed that was planted in season 1 with the quality of Mercy Lady.
All right, yeah.
And you're like, it's coming to fruition here. So this whole STEM thing's gonna totally turn into a thing. Which, Jeff, I'm gonna give you some kudos. Yeah, snap it up, baby. Snap it up. You got it, son.
This thing
this turns into a major thing. Yeah.
They silver plattered this storyline. I'm like, hey, is this a thing?
Yeah. Although you thought that the STEM thing might actually be more of an Ivanova plotline than a Franklin plotline.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she talks about sleep, right? There's a whole thing about...
Yeah, yeah. On Franklin, because you said you sort of got this idea of Franklin, just you really solidified your idea. This is actually, you and I both solidified our ideas of Franklin on this one. Like, you and I were very much in lockstep on this.
Yeah.
Right? But I thought you had a wonderful phrase. You said, on Franklin, he said, it's great writing of an absolutely terrible person. And great acting of an absolutely terrible person. And we gave Richard Biggs some of his flowers for how he's portraying this horrendous character, at least horrendous character at this point.
I think it's so important because we caught a lot of heat from people because we were hard on Franklin. But I think, and I hold this, and I know you are looking forward to season 5 because you have a theory about it. I don't forget his name, but some character in the 5th season around this. But
his official name is Sunshine.
But no, with Franklin, we're supposed to think this way about him. And I think that the writing and the incredible acting, that's why we felt that way.
Yeah.
You know, and looking through the lens of, you know, him with Garibaldi's tennis daughter and stuff, Uncle, you know.
Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
Uncle Steve.
How can you not love this guy? He's great. No, he was not.
But here's the thing. Like, in order for a roller coaster to have fun going down, it first has to chunk, right? In order for the roller coaster to actually go up the hill, it has to go down the hill first, right? This is something that you and I talk about of why you and I were so committed during our first watch to being brutally honest about where we were in that moment and not placating to the audience. And I promise you, I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to name names. There are other reactors and people out there watching the show for the first time who are just heaping loads and loads of love, and all they're trying to do is placate y'all out there. That's all they're trying to do. They're not trying to piss anybody off.
Right.
And you and I were very committed to being and allowing the journey to unfold, and where you and I wound up in Sleeping in Light, which I think we would all agree was I don't know if you all out there expected what happened. I did not. I thought something would happen. I didn't know that it would go to the place that it went.
Yeah.
When you and I watched that episode.
Nuts.
But that conclusion with our journey, Jeff, through the show would not have meant as much if we hadn't had the Avalon, if we hadn't had the first half of season 2, if we hadn't had those low points.
Right.
All of that said, we're not going to get Uncle Steven in season 5, Sleeping in Light,
without this.
and it's not going to mean as much without this. So I think you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. We discussed quite a bit if Franklin could potentially actually legitimately get fired. Like we had a big discussion on that. We were hard on this episode because I'm like, just get it. We also agreed that the stim addiction would be a major thing forward. Again, your quote here, it's going to come back and it's going to come back big.
Yeah.
Like you had that. This is also the episode that had the probe in it.
Yeah. Okay.
You were talking about that, the probe that comes back. You wondered if it would matter at all. I made the glorious prediction. All right, you listen, you knocked one out of the park. Here comes Brent's try at it, stepping up to the plate.
This is why a 333 is an incredible batting average right here.
Right. I thought this one might turn into season 3's Geometry of Shadows.
Oh, okay.
That while right now it doesn't really make any sense and it seems like it's going over our head, by the time we get to the end of the season, this is all going to play out and we're going to understand what it means. You pushed back and said, I'm going to make a bet. We never see hide nor hair of this thing again.
That's 2 for 2.
2 for Jeff. None for Brent. Londo, I said, took 10 steps into villainy. This is the first time I wanted to punch him in the face.
Wow.
In this one. This is the first time I think I truly hated Londo. Like, you kind of watched his descent and you felt bad. Like, even in season 2, like, with the dark hair and the fangs, no, Commander, or whatever. Like, you still kind of feel bad for him, although, but this was like, nah, dude, I'm done with you. Right. The other thing, and I'll finish up on this. This is an episode where we lose Veer. This is the episode where Londo sends Veer away.
Yeah.
Right. I think he goes to become the Minbar ambassador or something like that.
The Centauri mission on Minbar.
We were very sad that we were losing Veer because we didn't know. We didn't know if Veer was coming back or not.
It felt like this is me writing you off.
Yeah.
With occasional guest spot opportunities.
Right. You had an idea though that Veer. All right, here's your other one. You ready?
Oh my God.
Is Jeff going to step up to the plate and go 3 for 3? Let's find out. You said that he's going to go to Minbar and he's going to wind up hooking up with that telepath kid from season 1 from Legacies, right? And he might even hook up with the Rangers and have a direct line to Sinclair. Well, you might have foul-tipped that one off. You followed it up with this, Jeff. You believed in your core that Veer was going to be a big part of the Narn resistance.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad that I...
Abraham O. Lincoln, can anyone...
Right?
Can we say? That needs to be like a whole comic book series or something in and of itself.
There's
of Veer's work as Abraham O. Lincoln.
They basically wrote a whole book about his work in the Drock times. They need the books about that. Like, he was moving some stuff. Thousands.
I wonder what it takes to like write effectively fan fiction, but like get it published as like send it and go, hey, will you guys buy this story and make it a thing?
Of all the people out there who buy stories, I feel like JMS is probably not on the list at all.
Well, let's be clear. JMS wouldn't buy the story. It'd have to be the publishing house that would buy the story. It's just a matter of JMS says, yeah, the story is canon. Let's go with it. Jeff. Last time, last week, we gave ourselves a little homework that we have yet to fulfill. We were supposed to watch Three Amigos.
Yeah, we have not done that yet.
Yeah. We also did it this week.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
It's just layering on top of us.
With a movie you have not seen. And
is this
we have to do this one.
Down Periscope?
No.
Okay.
Although we have to do that one too.
I have that on I'm sitting here waiting. But what's the other one?
Monster Squad.
So yeah, so I have seen it, but it's been decades.
Yeah,
decades.
Yeah, and that's solely because of Stephen Mock. I think he might be the guy who plays Nafar, but he is the dad in Monster Squad, and Wolfman's got nards, and all that. So we were supposed to do it, we never did. We need to get to it. This seems like the perfect season to watch a B-rated monster movie.
Totally, absolutely.
Anyway. Those are some of the things that we said the first time around. Jeff, I know you scoured the interwebs. You listened to the Great Maker himself, maybe saw some footage from various places. Did you get anything good drummed up about this episode?
I did. Not a lot, but there is definitely some stuff. I think that we might have questioned during our first watch, possibly, but he clarified that Talon is the same Narn that Sheridan was locked up with and All Alone in the Night. Mm-hmm. He noted that we see someone asked him why we've never seen a worker cast Minbari. And he's like, you've seen plenty of them. They've been all around, but they tend to fade into the background. You can generally tell they're worker cast because they don't have stylized bone carvings like the other casts do.
Interesting. All right. Ain't nobody got money for that kind of crap, man.
Right?
Do we know, and this might be a question for our council chambers, Jeff, has JMS ever given us like a breakdown of the population of Minbar? Like what percentage of the population is religious caste, what percentage is warrior caste, and what percentage is worker class? And I say that just knowing that the Great Council is made up evenly 3 parts of each. You would assume society is made up evenly of 3 parts each, but later Delenn heavily weights it towards worker class, which actually might lend that there's a whole lot more worker class than there are religious or warrior, probably by a large order. That would be sense. That's an interesting con question for JMS.
It is. Yeah. What does it look like?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it wouldn't shock me at all if you sat back and you said, yeah, less than 10% of the population is religious caste. Another 10% is warrior, and the other 80 is all worker class.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
You mentioned Veer heading off to Minbar, and we were upset and worried about him. We were right to be worried.
Yeah.
Stephen first landed a gig on a sitcom. I think it was called Misery Loves Company.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me either. So the end of the story, right, is that he stayed on Babylon 5.
Right. We know he said, yeah, which means the show must not have worked out. So,
for very long. I think he was on it, I don't know, maybe half a season or something like that. But he didn't want to leave Babylon 5. And when he brought the news to Straczynski, that's kind of what he shared. He's like, look, I got this gig. It's full time. Like I got to do, I got to do this, but I don't want to leave. So they reworked his contract in a way that kind of reduced, his obligation, but still brought him back. And they came up with this whole storyline around the diplomatic mission, just to be like, yeah, you're gone, and when it makes sense to bring you back, we'll bring you back.
Well, here's the stuff not working out.
Right? Hey, I think it worked out great.
Right.
The probe storyline. Yeah. Probe storyline actually does mean something.
No, it doesn't.
Just not in the scope and canon of Babylon 5.
Okay.
So there was a series of closed-door hearings in the House Sciences Committee in 1968 here in these United States about how to respond if we encountered extraterrestrials. After a lot of very vociferous, vehement arguments and discussions, they concluded that first contact would most likely be from a probe, and that we would not respond because it could be a berserker or a threat of some kind.
Interesting.
So we really just wanted to play that out. Last thing I've got on this one I think is fascinating. So part of the story in the episode is negotiations between the station and the Pilots Association. In a life-imitating art moment, it was during the filming of this episode that the union came knocking and started a labor action with the show. It's a long story of good faith negotiations and sacrifices by both JMS and John Flynn, but they ended up with a thing still in use today in labor negotiations that's called the Babylon contract.
Okay.
Yeah. basically they were using a lot of people that on crew and things like that were non-union.
Okay.
And the union was like, we need you. And there's some verbiage in within.
It's probably how they were saving money was by not union folk.
What it came down to was the union, like the moment that activated kind of a union thing was, I think it was $1 million budget.
Okay.
Their budget was like 900 and some odd thousand. It was just underneath. And so basically they were like, how do we bump it just enough to get them in, but not actually spend a whole lot of extra money? And that's where JMS and Flynn actually took money out of their pockets to say, oh, we can do this and move it over here. I don't know all the specifics of how they moved it around, but it developed this concept called the Babylon contract that lets shows under $1 million still fly in and get union representation.
I assume that's $1 million an episode.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. 22 episodes, they're making up the shortfall from their two personal cuts of it.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a lot of money by the end of the day. Good on them.
It's huge
for getting that to their place. I would love to know. Right now is not the time. I would love to know what the terms of the Babylon contract are.
I know. I'm very curious.
Like for Hollywood. Yeah, I'd really be curious to know what those are.
It was nice too because JMS talked about, he's like, yeah, they weren't union, and that was fine because we actually treated them great. We gave them medical and dental coverage out of other parts of the budget. Like they were still, he's like, taking care of the people that worked on the show was really important to him. And so when people hear labor action or a union thing, they're like, oh my gosh, they must have been horrible. And no, there's actually some people that are just good people and take care of their workers, but being plugged into the union, especially down in Hollywood, the various guilds and associations there opens up, I mean, so many protections and benefits and things that are so critical for people.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times you get benefits through the union.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I have a lot of friends in the voice acting world, and that's their medical insurance is through SAG. That's where they get it.
Yeah, I know. I don't use it because it's not a benefit to me because what I have is better otherwise. But part of the union I'm in here, we offer medical insurance and stuff for our folks.
Yeah,
so
it's good. But I thought it was a really cool story.
There you go
for this. So what do you say after that little dive into real life that we get back into the reason we're here and let's watch this episode?
I say let's do that.
I'm excited to watch this with all of you here who have joined us. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Every episode is somebody's first, and we're really excited that you've chosen this one to join us. What's going to happen from here is Brent and I are going to pull the episode up. We're going to watch it right here, right now. We're going to talk about it while it's happening. We might pause and dive into some messages, conversations, or just it's going to happen all in real time. If you've joined us on YouTube, what you're going to see is the edited version of that, like a reaction video that'll kind of skip through the episode itself and then get to the stuff afterwards. If you want the full and the unedited version of that, you can get that over at our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/badnerds.
And if you're listening to the audio podcasting version of this, don't worry, we are not leaving you out. You will catch the audio because, honestly, Jeff and I have a lot to say during the episode itself. We're not going to rehash that all the way at the end. So we'll make sure that you guys are with that as well. And, of course, you're going to get the conversation that we'll have on the other side. So with that, Jeff, let's watch an episode.
It's time. Let's do it.
Accessing file.
Captain's meeting with the Transport Association now to work it out. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
So this is the union thing they're talking about.
Yeah. Some order here, please. Thank you.
I like dude in the front wearing a Pokemon hat.
I realize that it's going to take longer now to get your material through customs. We project delays of no more than 10 to 15%.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
That's not.
They want to control all the weapons so they can push us around, intimidate us.
There's always that guy. Always that guy.
You a big man, don't they, Sheridan?
Okay, question. The two Minbari guys over this dude's shoulder. Worker cast in the background?
Maybe.
Their headbones look a little spiky. What is not ornamented, whatever?
Yeah.
You're pretty brave sitting up there with armed guards on either side. It's what we got.
I love Sheridan
Why
right
don't you
here.
come down here and try this crap?
That'll be enough.
You know, Honestly, those PPGs look so tiny in their hands.
Stand by. We'll be right back. Are you ready to take your Babylon 5 for the first time experience to the next level? With our exclusive Patreon, you'll get access to all kinds of cool stuff that you can only find there. Our recording notes, unedited reaction videos, an exclusive Discord community. And you can even be listed as a producer of the show. Plus, we even offer exclusive meet and greets and hangouts. You won't find this kind of experience anywhere else. Get all these amazing benefits, plus the opportunity to interact with other fans from around the world. It's being part of a huge community where everyone shares the same appreciation for Babylon 5. Subscribe at patreon.com/Babylon5First. That's the number 5 and the word first to get access to these incredible benefits. That's patreon.com/Babylon5First. We can't wait to see you there.
You got the gun.
There's no caps in it, but
All I've got is what I've got.
Adjourn.
I really like the way he responded to that.
Yeah?
Like he took the bait, but he didn't swallow
With all
the
due
bait.
respect.
Talk about it.
So it's reckless what he did. Like I totally like that could have gone
That could have gone sideways real fast.
real fast.
Yeah.
But like that like I said, that guy is in all everything that. Hey, we have this really rough money thing. It's going to cost you. I mean, it's going to suck. Like it's going to take more time and cost some extra money. No, there's this wild way out there violent thing, and I'm going to be loud about it. And then because of mob mentality, when I'm loud, people start to glom on, and then it blows up into this whole thing it wasn't. I feel like Sheridan he knew that, saw the direction it was going, and he's just like, there is one way to put this fire out. Mm-hmm. And that's to get right in front of it, put a barrier, stop it right in its tracks. Huge risk, but I think it was the right call.
Didn't Captain Gideon do something like this in Crusade in that episode where Darina was trying to get him into a fight, or he was trying to get into a fight for her?
Yes.
Wasn't it something similar to that?
I remember that. Mm-hmm.
That was a good episode. I mean, that could have been such a good show.
It really could have been.
That was a good show.
There have been some really good discussions on Reddit about it, and everybody who finally is like, okay, I'll watch it, they're like, oh my God. Yeah, it was pretty obvious, actually.
All right, so to be fair, this is the energy cap.
Mm-hmm.
Captain
By the way, shout out to Wash.
Yeah, right.
I've just arrived and wanted to check in with you.
That's Stephen. That's the father
Citizen
from Monster Squad.
Picard.
Okay. It is okay. So I'm Sheridan. I'm at work. What are you doing today at work? I'm doing a labor dispute thing. Cool. Hey, I need to talk to Sheridan. Can I just walk into the middle of this labor dispute and interrupt him? Like, who does this guy think he is? Well, I think he's tied to the Centauri and thinks he can do.
Oh, he's got that sort of thing. So I'm surprised we didn't have we didn't mention it at all, but discussions of what it is to be a collaborator. We had a lot of that with Deep Space Nine, with Kira and the Bajorans and the Cardassians. Here's this guy who is effectively a collaborator with an occupying force. We didn't mention it at all.
Really? That's surprising.
I know, right?
I feel like we talk about it at some point.
Yeah.
But it also might have been on Stargate if I'm on. I don't remember. We've had the conversation.
I know we have, but yeah, you're probably right. It's probably more.
Yeah, we was it in this episode? I remember at some point in here we started a Marcus watch because we're like we never see him, and let's just start keeping track of the times we see him.
Well, because we didn't know if they were going to Kefir him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was later or if that was now. I forget.
Is for the welfare of all of my people.
He has a
Resistance
gentle
is
face.
causing great problems for the Centauri.
Like
For every one of them we kill,
I want to like him.
they kill 500
Nafar?
of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Later on, I find out that a comet is a major Brakiri death symbol.
Isn't Day of the Dead because a comet is coming by? Like they time it with a comet?
Yeah.
That's so cool that they tied it. I love that.
He can take an inferior defensive force and turn it into an offensive force capable of taking on a better equipped enemy. Now,
I feel like that's a key line.
Yeah, I think so
My
too.
files might
I'm
be
piecing
on
together what happens in the future and trying
that
to think
information
I think really that's what happens in the big battle against the Shadows and the Vorlons is they're small, right? And you got the Behemoth Shadows, Behemoth Vorlon, and they do what they need to do with the first ones or whatever. In that battle of Proxima 3, it's or no, it's not. It's the place where Sheridan goes to die or to stop. If I think about it, I'll come back. But that battle is doing exactly that.
Surviving streets are quite empty, Ambassador.
The work farms.
You can hear the hurt in Nefar and Londo's just
all operating
digging
at capacity.
Nothing personal. It's just the times.
Yeah.
We've been
Good on
monitoring for the
Veer.
past hour, Captain.
Yeah,
Ever
we
since it
talked a
entered
lot
Babylon
about
5
that.
space.
That he has the chutzpah to
Distance.
be able to say stuff like that.
Last week we said be a Lanier. This week it's be a Veer.
Be Veer, yeah. And I mean, we know the end of Veer's story, right?
Yeah.
Like this is an interesting spot. He takes 2 steps forward and sometimes 3 steps back, but he's sometimes 3 steps forward and 1 step back. But this is a situation where he's not the little guy playing the video game from the first episode.
Yeah.
It's a big part of his journey.
It's pretty complex, sir. At least 2-3 hours.
You know what's interesting to me is
I know
not
that
interesting,
things have
but
been somewhat.
knowing that this. Yeah, thank you. Knowing that this probe thing matters nada. It does nothing. I find myself zoning out during those scenes.
So let me challenge you with this.
Yeah.
Because we just watched a bomb plot that meant nothing.
Yeah.
But what we got out of it was some cool Sheridan Garibaldi moments.
Sure.
Right? Some character stuff in there.
Yeah. We got some good Corwin stuff right there.
We're going to get a lot of good Corwin stuff, I think, in this.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of Franklin stuff as well. So, like,
oh, sure.
Probe's dumb. Whatever.
No, but we know the Franklin stuff goes somewhere, so you pay attention to that, right? We know the Londo stuff is going somewhere, so we pay attention. The Jakar stuff, we pay attention. But the whole probe thing, like I find myself just like, okay, let's go on to the next scene.
I feel like it's 2 weeks in a row of just like go to the sci-fi shelf of tropes and just oh, let's do this one. Oh, let's do this one. Yeah. And I think like Stargate does that frequently, but Stargate's an episode of the week.
Yeah,
that makes sense to do. But again, I think in this case, it's JMS has an intended goal, a development goal in this episode, mostly character driven, and he just needs a paint by numbers construct to make it happen.
Yeah, right. That makes sense.
But I would like to know why this particular favor.
Does Delenn know that allowing Veer to go away is effectively taking Londo's moral compass away?
Be a good move. Probably at least has an inkling.
Thank you.
This is the Delenn I miss. This is the Delenn that we lose when she becomes, and we keep saying this, Jeff, and I hope we're going to be wrong when we do the second watch.
I know.
But when she just sort of becomes the side chick, when she's like, yeah, she knows more than what's going on here. So, okay, now tell me the truth. Like, this is the Delenn that,
And she's so subtle and powerful in how she does it. Like, it's great.
Right.
And I'm just going to put this out there just because I feel like side chick carries a lot with it. I'll just say first lady. Right? Like, she just becomes the first lady. She's over here doing goodwill missions and just happens to be along.
She's the girl on the side, man. Like, Sheridan's first mission, his first love is the command.
He's Kirk.
You know,
I'm in love with my ship, with my station, with my interstellar alliance.
Right? I'm married to the service.
We never really talked, Londo.
No, I suppose not.
They have a couple of these just like moments like this throughout the series that are always interesting.
What, I can't make a little extra pasta, some cannoli? I have to have.
They're basically all her seeing him fall.
Well, we fall into patterns easy. Tendencies become habits.
We talked a bit about, and I just want to say this as we go into the scene, the conversation that Garibaldi has with Franklin here is one that only somebody who has dealt with addiction can have when they see somebody else in the midst of their addiction. What strikes me is paralleling this, and I want to watch this specifically,
him and
to
Lockley.
The conversation that Lockley had with him when he fell off the wagon later on in the show.
Yeah, I feel like he probably responds a lot like Franklin does here.
Even worse. But when you're in that spot, you recognize, that's true of yourself.
Yeah.
Who's getting cold?
You're right. I've never met a bottle I didn't like.
Michael.
That's why I can't
I
go.
don't have a problem, okay? But if it makes you happy, I'll cut back on the stems.
They would say, Here is a man who will live to be 150.
How do you not love Talon after that? Like, just what a cool guy.
Right? Well, and there's, you talked earlier about those moments.
Translate their message?
That's it.
There it is.
That's another one of them.
What does it matter where the food comes from? It keeps our people alive.
I just want to take a moment, Jeff. You and I gushed over this so much during our first watch, but I'm going to continue to gush. All due respect to Michael Westmore, the makeup artist over at Star Trek. I don't think he ever came as close to nailing something as much as he did the makeup specifically for the Narn.
Yeah.
Or whoever did the makeup on Babylon 5. The way that these prosthetic pieces are built that still allow the actor to emote through their facial expressions is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it does not look like makeup.
I mean, look at Jakar right here where you paused it. Like, there's so much going on right there.
Right. Hey, there's the lines in his nose and the wrinkles here, and you see his face. And I mean, it's really a thing of beauty. The only thing that I think is maybe just a little is the sheen on his head where you see the light from the studio.
Hey,
right there.
I feel very seen by that statement, sir.
I was going to say, we could see the light in your studio. You, in fact, have a circle light. We can tell. Or no, you have the box lights. You have two of them. Yeah, we can see the two box lights right there in your head. And you're welcome to everybody out there who now cannot unsee those in Jeff's head.
It's true.
That's why I wear a hat.
Recover from our wounds and lull the Centauri into a sense of false security.
Is he right?
Dude, I mean, that's the question, right? It's an approach. It's a way to do it.
Right.
Does it work? I don't know that it's ever worked.
Does Jakar's way work?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, think about it. Anything that Jakar did with his resistance, did it in any one little bit of an iota get the Centauri off Narn?
No.
Did it free Narn at all?
What freed Narn was Jakar and Londo coming together on Centauri Prime and deciding to kill the Emperor.
What I love about this, though, is you have two different viewpoints, two different ways of going about it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we can mount a resistance now. We can fight. We can do all this sort of stuff. Or we can bide our time, let things be real crappy for a really long time, but we'll lull them into a false sense of security, and then we can attack. These are two competing ideas, two legitimate ideas. Which way is the best way to go? Which way is the right way to go? That's the conversation. That's the debate. I love Jakar's question here. Okay, how?
Yeah.
Tell me how. Let's have the debate. Let's talk about it. It doesn't have to be my way or the highway. Let's talk about it.
I'm far from an expert on World War II, and I know there are people in the council chambers, Ron, who brought this up, being one of them, who can help keep me on track. But like Ron makes the comment, kind of worked for Chamberlain, right? And like the UK maintained itself as a presence in the war, partly because of this, but also, London was rubble, right? And I mean, when I think about it, had the U.S. not entered the war, I don't know that strategy would have worked. Like, it becomes a war of attrition essentially, and I don't know that they had pockets deep enough to keep it going. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think, like, when I think about Nafar, I think about Chamberlain, I think about the idea of, like, there's that line. There's like conciliation, and then there's collaboration. And that line gets skewed after the fact, right? Like, after everything's done, it's easy to like blur those lines. But I think that taking like a conciliatory approach, the danger in that is what Jakar sees with Nafar is you're never going to fight back. You're just going to keep taking scraps and feed in to what they're doing. I think to have that conciliatory approach, you have to have like a very clear, at this moment we strike.
Right.
Sort of a thing. But I think that doesn't always happen. I also find it interesting that both Londo and Nafar are using pride as the mechanism to keep things moving.
That might be worth an examination all in of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Surrender to the Centauri. I have it on very good authority that you will not be harmed.
Bullshit.
Right.
Who will lead our people? The Centauri will begin harassing their families back home. Some of them may even be imprisoned or tortured.
Dude, the music,
for the sake of everyone,
the score here, this
you
dude's
must
evil.
Give up, Babylon 5.
He is not on the up and up like he seemed
come
like he
on.
was just a moment ago.
My guess is they've got his family. They've already begun the harassment.
Yeah.
And they're like, you go say this and you go make this happen
Yeah.
or this will escalate and we'll start doing this to everybody else.
That's always the way it happens, though.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hate. If that's true, I hate it
Mm-hmm.
because I just want him to be bad. I
Right?
want Nafar to just be bad.
That's the thing, though. He can't. If he was just bad, this would be easy. His way is wrong. He's bad. Do the Jakar thing. But I don't think he's bad.
Katerina brings up a good question. You know, when Bester comes back on the station after Talia and says, "Oh, we chopped her up, fed her to the wolves," whatever he says. I have long held the position they didn't do that at all. He only said that to elicit an emotional response so that he could read the people in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's been my position. JMS hasn't said one way or the other, very intentionally and very smartly so, I think. I think you've been on the side, correct me if I'm wrong, of no, actually he did that to Talia.
Yeah.
That's where you've been. Katerina says Nafar doesn't really believe any of this. He's only trying to lure out Jakar. Does Nafar believe, like, is any of this actually happening? Is Nafar lying through his teeth right now? That's an interesting idea. In which case, he is bad, and I love it.
Right? I want the resistance for myself.
Right?
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself, Veer. I want you.
Veer's like, no, you are not.
This is not a good place for you.
To be their pet, their messenger.
Is this the
their
guy?
puppet?
Is that the guy in season 5 that does the statue thing? It looks like him.
I feel like they use him quite a bit for stuff.
Well, I mean, we know that they reuse their extras. They just put different pieces of makeup on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's the guy who's all like, "I believed in you."
Yeah, I don't know.
And I wonder if it's the same Narn. Like, it could be
Yeah.
the same actor, but is it the same Narn? Ron says no. Maybe. I'm going to go with Ron and the other people who have seen this 4 more times than I have. So, but still.
I swear, if we live through this, somebody's gonna find their automatic shower preferences reprogrammed for ice water.
We loved that line in the first one.
Yeah.
We loved that.
Yes?
I heard on the grapevine you were leaving. Didn't believe it, but figured I better check it out.
Question.
Okay.
There is a moment later on when Garibaldi leaves.
Uh-huh.
He leaves his position. Isn't it Jakar that comes to him to check him out?
Not only that, but when Garibaldi goes missing, it's Jakar, the only one that goes out looking for him. I was thinking the same thing. This is like a step in their
But
partnership.
it's a mirror of that right now. Jakar's leaving, so Garibaldi's going to come check it out.
If I didn't know better, I might think you were genuinely concerned.
We're sitting here laughing at this really moving moment. Ron and the kid. Dude, it's so good. Brent, this is the special mission. Go back in time, befriend Jakar, so then he'll go looking for you. So good.
If you guys weren't around for the first watch, you're not going to understand that.
I mean, literally the entire last season and a half of the first watch.
What was Garibaldi's special mission?
What was it?
If you're new, welcome to the show. Really, welcome to the show. But there is this show is a sequel to our first show, so there are some things that carry over.
We have a growing canon. So it's...
Or I swear the last thing I'll do is send a report on your incompetence straight to Earth Dome. You'll be disbarred so fast you'll leave skid marks as they throw your ass out of the EMA. Now you get on it, and you get on it now!
That's messed up, but it's pretty good. Like from the Book of Trash Talk. But wow.
They're going to leave skid marks from your ass. Oh, here's the thing. I don't know that JMS meant that. What I'm thinking it means. But he just said she's dirty.
He did.
By the way, folks, bidets are a thing.
They really are.
That's all.
And you get them very inexpensively on online retailers. They're easy to install, and they will change your life.
They are life-changing. Yes.
To rebuild, Nam.
Is this a scene I think it is?
Clothe and protect our people. For what can be more important than their safety?
It's an interesting thing because on the one hand, you're talking about the basic needs of life.
Mm-hmm.
Food, clothing, shelter, water. The other hand, you're talking about the things of the heart, liberation, freedom.
The price of the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy is your dignity and freedom. That's messed up.
In order to achieve one, you have to sacrifice the other, but you have to do it as a society.
Right. Oh.
And you have to make the choice to sacrifice their basic needs in order to That thing seriously looks like those little things from the movie Batteries Not Included. Did you ever see that movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Like those little guys?
Uh-huh. Still a line from Delenn here. That maintenance bot was out there just like, man, I got 2 days to retirement. Just going to chill out here on the outside. Oh, you need me to send a message? Cool. Council Chambers is bringing it today. This is great.
Right? Right?
We cannot let you leave, Jakar. You are valued and you are needed here.
This is foolishness. I'm doing this for your own good.
Was that supposed to be a moment of comedy?
It was.
Didn't do it too well.
And it's not funny. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into... I talked about this in our first time viewing way back.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in labor negotiations before. And I've been in negotiations, not quite to that level, but close. Hey, it doesn't work. It doesn't help. Just stop. This whole mob mentality of like, well, just yell. Let's just yell and make this. It doesn't help. It doesn't. It's not funny. Stop. Londo's alone. Welcome to Babylon 5. Brent, that's a day in the strife.
That is.
And a day for us. Anything pop out from this one for you?
This is an interesting episode on our second watch. You know what's important. You know what's not important. You know what you can just ignore. You know what to pay attention to. And I think it plays so much into it. The parts that you pay attention to in this episode, Jeff, are so good.
They're so good.
They're so good. The parts that you don't pay attention to,
not very good.
But you also could take them or leave them. And the goodness far outweighs the bad.
Mm-hmm.
To where I feel like this episode has to be elevated on my second viewing and on a future viewing because I know what I'm watching, right? And I know what I'm watching for. All of Londo's stuff with Veer, oh my gosh, it's excellent. Jakar's whole thing,
holy crud,
excellent. Even some of the character moments between Sheridan and Ivanova, excellent. The whole thing with Delenn in her quarters talking to Londo, excellent. Like just so much. The Garibaldi Jakar stuff, excellent. Like
the Garibaldi Franklin stuff.
The Franklin, like, hey, this is where we have to be for Franklin in order to get there. I'm okay with being here because I know where we go.
100%. Yes.
We didn't know where we went. So, yeah, man, ultimately, I mean, we talked about so much. I do have some messages on this one. We'll save those for when we get to that part of the conversation. But, man, this one gets a glow up on a second view, man, at least for me. How about you?
Absolutely. And I think the Franklin thing is really standing out for me because we left that first time viewing, just vitriol, right? Just pure hatred for this guy. Mm-hmm. But like you said, we've seen like what happens when we understand where he is now. And now I just see the brilliance in it. I don't feel hatred towards him. I feel sadness and compassion. Yeah. I feel the same for Garibaldi, knowing where he ends up and how, kind of how this goes back for him. I was shocked at the end. The you are valued and you are needed Jakar piece was in this episode.
Yeah.
I remember that scene so strongly. We put it in like some of our opening theme music and stuff.
Yeah.
It's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
That was in this, right? I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, for me, the Franklin stuff, I mean, the Jakar stuff is huge. Londo stuff, but the Franklin stuff is top of the heap for me in this one. I thought it was fantastic.
What a change, man.
I know.
What a change. No, I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you on the whole piece for Franklin. His story is so interesting. And you and I know that it's just getting started. Mm-hmm. And it's really about to ramp up. And I'm very excited to be able to see this roller coaster, for lack of a better word, again, and to know where I am on the path. Mm-hmm. I'm in the middle, the very, very little bit of free time that I have, Jeff.
You're right.
I play some video games. Mm-hmm. Now there are video games that I play that I don't know, that I've never been through before. And I am playing through some Mass Effect. I tried to do it live and I just couldn't do it, but I have been playing through Mass Effect and it's not a game I've been able to play over the last bunch of weeks just because things have been really, really busy. And I don't have the space to be able to sit and really dive into it. So the very little bit of time, and it's very, very little, I just go to like a good old standby. For me, it's Zelda. I play Zelda. Breath of the Wild, specifically, I love that game. And I've just been going through it. And there's so many pieces where like I know the rhythms, I know the beat, I know where it is, and I can enjoy the moment for where I am. And I'm not blindly reaching around and going. And that's what it feels like right now with the whole Franklin thing. Like I know where I am, I know where we are in the story, and I'm not saying Franklin's story is a feel-good story, but I'm enjoying where we are with all of these things. And honestly, even Londo's piece and Jakar's piece and all of those. You nailed the description of this episode though, Jeff, earlier when you said it's like 2 weeks in a row where JMS has had some good character development things that he needs to do. We just have to give the episode some sort of a thing to wrap around. So let me pull generic storyline off the sci-fi shelf and drop it in, and we'll build everything else around it. And that's what actually makes the episode. I think it was last week, Jeff, you and I were talking about just the question of why, right? Like why this episode in a 22 episode deal, you're trying to tell a story. You said every chapter is indispensable. Why? And I think our conclusion last week was it's not actually what happens in this one. It's the other stuff.
Yeah.
I think we're there again.
Same thing.
But it's a lot of good stuff that really happens in this episode.
Yeah, I think in last week they took so much time with the bomb plot and made it like it was a legitimate story. This one, like I remember the probe thing being a bigger deal. It was probably 4 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, right.
The longest thing of it was Franklin yelling at that lady, which was actually part of a different story.
He said she'd leave skid marks.
Right? You said you had some stuff for messages. I do as well. What do you have?
I've got one about Franklin. I've got one about Londo, and I've got one about Jakar.
Okay.
Pick. Which one do you want to dive into?
Let's dive into Londo's.
All right, Londo. Londo is sending Veer away. And he says to Dylan or to Veer. I think he actually says to Veer himself. He justifies all of his actions and he says, hey, I've always been alone. Yeah, Veer's leaving. He's like, now you're alone. He's like, I've always been alone. I've always been this way. We do that a lot. We justify wrong actions by this is just the way it's always been. Right? I've always been this way. Parents will say that, do as I say, not as I do. Right? Don't go this way. It's bad for you, but I'm going to be here because I'm already down this way. This is just how I roll.
It's there.
You know, but you shouldn't do this. Don't do this. In another way, though, this is also what leads to Londo in a moment that I have extolled him for time and time again. The moment where he stands there like a man and accepts the keeper. And he saves Centauri Prime. He saves, frankly, the galaxy.
Right. Uh-huh.
In his mission to be able to do it. It's a bed he's made, and he's willing to lie in it. And there's a piece that we see that with Londo here of, you know what? It's not a good thing that he sends Veer away. You know, you go away. You don't want to see this. You don't want to be a part of this. You're going to be my conscience, and I can't have you doing this if I'm going to do bad stuff here. It's not okay. Well, but you're alone. I've always been alone. It's okay. I don't, I'll tough it out. But it's that same thing. Well, I would say this is bad for Londo in this moment. Later on, Londo goes, you know what? I've made this bed. Nobody should have keepers. I'm going to take this one, though. Oh, my gosh, Jeff. This even mirrors a bit of what's going on with the Narn and Centauri. I'm going to take this one so nobody else has to have one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this one so we can defeat it so nobody else has to have one. Hey, we're going to make these sacrifices now for the Narn, and it's going to hurt, but we're doing this so that the Centauri get out and we can be free again.
Yeah, but we got this.
So I quite love this whole piece of Londo. You know, hey, listen, I've always been this way. I'm alone. It's okay. I'm justifying my actions. Be careful. It seems like I'm saying this is a good thing, but I'm not. It's actually issuing it a bit of a warning and saying don't use that as an excuse to make bad choices, because Londo okay, here we go. Let me wrap it around. What do we know about Londo? We know the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Londo needs Veer.
Yeah.
He gets him back. He desperately needs him. I would say Londo would not have been able to do what he does in season 5 had he not had Veer in his life for the vast majority of his, at least the time here on Babylon 5.
I would say to help pump up don't do that is, and we don't know the answer to this, but I could imagine that if he kept Veer close, if he let Delenn, actually spoke with Delenn and had those conversations and had connections and brought people around him and wasn't always alone, maybe the Drock thing never would have even needed to happen.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Jeff.
It's like he made the best out of a bad thing. We say you make chicken salad out of chicken shit, but still, you shouldn't have to make the chicken salad. Just
right.
Morden wouldn't have been able to glom onto him.
Franklin and Jakar.
Let's do Franklin next.
No, let's do Jakar.
Okay. It's like my kid. Hey, you choose. I choose this. We're doing this other thing.
No. Well, it's because this one's just so much easier than the other one. Okay. And this really isn't even Jakar as much as it is Talon, who said, and I'm going to screw up the quote because I'm missing the last word, because it's better to die in the cause of freedom than to live in comfort in, I put slavery, but I don't think that's the word he used there. But it's better to die in the cause of freedom. Listen, I don't know that there's a message here as much as I think this is a value. This is a value we as Americans say we hold. I think I like to think that I hold this value as well. I don't know that we are always, I'm going to say that I don't think we're always showing this as a country. But I think this is something that is also ubiquitous to mankind.
Okay.
I don't think it's just an American idea either, is what I'm trying to say. It is better to die.
It happened for millennia before America even existed.
Yeah.
The United States even existed.
Yeah. And we know this to be true. We know this to be true. In fact, I think of, from our own dark period of slavery here in this country, there's a great line in the movie Black Panther where Michael B. Jordan's character talks about how they would go get these slaves from Africa, and many of them would jump overboard thinking it was better to die free than to live a slave, something of that nature. Other people say, or live and be free, get through it.
Right.
But again, this goes back to, this is the difference between Jakar and Nefar.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a reason why those two names sound so similar. Jakar Nafar?
I don't think so.
No,
that's just when you have that kind of like naming structure, you're kind of limited on what
that's
you
where
got.
you. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, that's the one I had. Is just
Nice. Yeah.
I think this is it's a phrase that just rings true, and we'd be remiss if we didn't bring it up.
Good catch. Good call.
All right, Franklin.
Dr. Franklin.
You're gonna like this one, Jeff.
All right.
You're gonna like this one. All right. Because
Don't do drugs.
No, it's not even that. It's not that one. You know, Dr. Franklin. What's the reason? What's his reason? At least he's giving himself for his STEM use.
Well, he's a hero. They need him.
But why?
Because they're short-staffed. They don't have the money. They don't have what they need.
Dr. Franklin is legitimately overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
There is too much here for one person to handle. Right? Here's the thing. Dr. Franklin is the boss.
Mm-hmm.
He is the CMO. Right? Now, I don't know how his hands are tied for staffing or for anything like that, but we know there are other physicians there on Babylon 5.
Yeah.
And perhaps there need to be a few more. Regardless of the ones that he has there, Dr. Franklin needs to learn how to delegate.
Right.
He does not need to pull all this stuff on himself and to be the one guy.
We see it when they call him in the thing. They're like, hey, what about Dr. So-and-so? Oh, they're in isolation. Be there for a while. I'm like, there's one other doctor. Like, that's it?
Yeah. And if there is, and he's not permitted to bring on other doctors, that is a failure of those that are above him. And I certainly see in the real world.
Yeah, that happens.
Hospitals who refuse to hire actual staff for physicians. And by the way, that's how medical mistakes happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because doctors have to push too much to get through. You and I could have a whole conversation about the difference between hiring people who are producers of money for your organization versus people who are users of money who don't actually produce. And the basic idea, nobody goes to an organization because of the president,
right,
or the secretary. They go to the organization because of this other person that provides a service or whatever they do, right? When you hire too much admin and not enough producers, this is what you get. But what happens is we often want to put the burden on the producers to produce more for these people to leech off of, basically. So bottom line, he needs to bring on the right people. He needs, the way he talked to that lady about skid marks, he needs to talk to his boss about getting more doctors in there, because he cannot do this on his own.
It's the problem of so many newer and inexperienced. Well, that's not fair. I'll just say of so many managers. I was going to say inexperienced, but it happens across the board. They don't have enough security in their own skills and ability and their value and their professional worth, that they see delegation as a sign of weakness. Or what if this person shows up and does a better job than me? Or what if they don't do as good a job? Is that either way? Right.
And then I have to be accountable for that.
Yep. I'm either threatened or I'm in trouble. So I can't let it go. And, so they just never delegate. And that's Franklin. In this case, I think he's afraid of someone upstaging him and afraid of someone making a mistake. I think he has both.
I wonder if there's the people there to actually delegate to. But then there's also, I think, exactly what you said. And I think brings up a good point here. Based on Franklin's job title, he should be administering, scheduling, hiring, all that sort of stuff. But we almost see him serving solely as the frontline doctor. I will tell you, the doctors that I know who are in administrative roles like this, CMO type roles, they do still have clinic, but it is usually less than half of what non-administrative physicians have. I will say, though, as Nia points that out, and the big reason why I bring this in, this is a sci-fi thing. CMOs on starships and space stations and stuff are also almost always the frontline doctor on the show.
What's a TV thing? No one's excited watching someone do scheduling and filing reports.
Right.
If they did,
so
I'd be on TV. It'd be great.
You're the chief medical officer. Well, that's not, it maybe I don't know, Jeff, you were on a sub. Did you have a chief medical officer on your sub?
We had a corpsman. We had one medical professional, and it was a corpsman enlisted, so essentially a nurse.
Okay. So and that person then probably had a chief medical person that oversaw multiple ships.
Yeah, not really. No. I mean, there's a hospital on base,
Yeah.
But I would almost think of it in terms of like if you had to go there, he'd refer you to the base hospital. He reported to our CO.
Yeah. But that person then, not necessarily like, they wouldn't be the CMO. Anyway, my whole point, I think you're right. This is just a thing in sci-fi shows that they do and say, and we see it all the time, and it's not necessarily right.
It's not.
Jeff, you said you had a few things. What you got?
Friendship, man. Like being there for the people in your life. And I think that what because we know what's coming, this message stands out more strongly. And both times it's Garibaldi. He shows up for Franklin twice, right? He shows up the first time calling him out on his thing. And then he shows up for him again where he's like, hey man, sorry, I overstepped. He understood the boundaries, right? Where he can and where he can't help. I mean, being an addict himself, I think helped him navigate that, but that's great friendship. Hey, I need to say the thing. Said the thing. You got upset. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm sorry I said the thing. Also, I said it, so it's out there. I got it out. But then he shows up for Jakar as well. He didn't have to do that. You know, I mean, they're not in the same chain of command. All the ambassadorial stuff that happens, Garibaldi could take or leave, right? Whatever. Took time out of his day to go over and be like, dude, don't do this. You're going to die.
Right.
That pays off huge for him down the road. And I just think like it doesn't take much to be there for the people in your life, but the benefits for being there can be huge.
Yeah.
And truly life-changing. I think this episode and what it leads to showed that in just a really, really great way.
Well, you and I got certain things out of this. I wonder what folks out there may have gotten. Would you guys do us a favor? Email us to, what is our email address these days, Jeff? thebadnerds@gmail.com.
I think that's what it is.
That is our actual email address, right?
You also go to thebadnerds.com and hit the contact button, and there's ways.
You could do that as well. You could do that, actually, and if you're listening to the podcasting app, I think there's a link in the show notes actually that our hosting platform puts out that sends back a contact.
Yeah, it says like send us a text or something.
Multiple ways. Well, we'd love to know from you guys, or join our Discord and hit it up on Discord. Let us know we have a chat room that's just for Babylon 5 stuff in the green sector there. You guys check that out and let us know. We'd love to know what messages you guys pull out of the show. But that being said, Jeff, it is your turn, my friend. It is your turn to place an episode in the 100% completely accurate definitive ranking of Babylon 5 Season 3. Jeff, my friend, you get to place this one. You have two in front of this one. I know where I would put this one right now.
Okay.
I'm curious where you're going to put this one. Number 1 right now is Matters of Honor. 2 is Convictions. They are in order. Do we stay in order? This becomes number 3, or are we going to throw a wrench in what's the phrase? Are we going to throw a wrench in the works? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. A monkey wrench? I don't know what it is. Anyway, are we going to mess it up, Jeff?
I don't want to be your monkey wrench. This so in the original ranking of this, it was Matters of Honor, The Day in the Strife, Convictions. Like they were separated by a few, but that was kind of the order that it went in. And what I think is interesting, we tied a lot of parallels for Convictions and Day in the Strife. Here's a throwaway storyline to do some stuff. Matters of Honor was all brand new stuff, right? We met Marcus. We got the White Star. We got Indawi coming on, kind of laying out some of this stuff for Earth or whatever. When we watched in the second season, The Geometry of Shadows, first time around, we were nonplussed by the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the second time, because we understood where it went, we ranked it very high and it stayed in the upper ranking of the whole thing. And Brent, that's what's going to happen this time. I'm ranking Day in the Strife based on what it gives us in the future, which is why it's our number 1 episode
so far.
Season 3 so far.
I would agree. That's exactly where I would have put it. And I would not have thought that coming into today's episode at all.
Same. Yeah, I was ready for let's just keep that order going.
Coming in, it's a fine episode. I still don't know. This is not Severed Dreams.
What?
Or Point of No Return. Like, this is not that. This is not War Without End. This is not Zahadum. This is not that caliber of an episode. But those are different types of episodes altogether. For an episode that is, hey, here's a wraparound story, generic sci-fi, but all this cool character stuff, all the building. I mean, it's almost unfair to put this in the same category as those, but we're doing it by season, so that's how we're going to do it. But this, this is a good episode that is character building type episode.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, Jeff, that is going to do it for A Day in the Strife. Next week, Jeff, I'm very excited about next week. We get to one of our favorite episodes from our first watch, a defining episode for us in many, many ways. I think it set the tone for a lot of what was to come. Now that I think about it, may have even influenced another episode about 12 episodes later and opinions there. Just there may have been a connection. I'm just saying, possible. But very excited to jump back into this and see this for a second time. Was it as good as we remember? Is it as meaningful as we remember? Or is it more? Is it less? What is it? But Jeff, we are watching Passing Through Gethsemane.
We are.
Now, we make predictions, or at least we did the first time around. We didn't know what the episode was going to be about. We know what this one's about. I remember this one. So do you. But before you knew what this episode was about, you made a prediction. Remind the folks and remind me what your prediction was for Passing Through Gethsemane.
I thought this was going to be an episode about Zach, essentially our crew on Babylon 5, watching him go through his trials, his questions around things that are going on in his world. And this would be where he either went full night watch or didn't. Do you remember what you predicted it was going to be?
Yeah, I said that this one, I kind of meandered around about it a bit, but where I landed was Sheridan and Delenn are facing the future that they have together, particularly the one that we learned about in Comes the Inquisitor. You know, like, oh, you guys have a thing, right? Like, so they're facing that future and they have to decide if they're willing to sacrifice something in order to fulfill their destinies. Basically using the idea of Gethsemane, Garden of Gethsemane was a place where Jesus went. He had a prayer trying to decide if whether or not he was actually going to go through with this thing. His prayer was, please let this cup pass from me if it's at all possible. If not, that's fine. You know, they're going to have that same sort of a thing. That what are they going to have to sacrifice? Possibly, and I even went a step beyond, because you and I were kind of already on this page, which I'm shocked. If I about fell out of my chair when I heard us say this, because I don't know that I'm wondering if we said this on an episode that you listened to that I didn't.
Okay.
But we talked about how we have been under this impression that Babylon 5 was going to succeed from Earth.
Okay.
And we said it in this is just where we're feeling the show is going.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen in about 10 episodes, y'all.
You know, when we made that was the season 2 wrap up, when we were predicting what the season was going to be about.
There it is. Yeah. And so you're right about that. You're absolutely right. So I said, maybe this is what they'll start discussing then, as to whether or not they would have to succeed. So that was my prediction.
No, not bad. Not bad. I'm ridiculously excited for this one. I'm excited to listen to our first time one on this one as well. But hey, we're going to watch that one next week. You want to make sure you don't miss that. And so wherever you're watching or listening, subscribe to this so you don't miss it. You can be one of the first to watch or listen to it, which is super cool. I love the comments sometimes we see on YouTube. First to comment. It's like, yeah, you rock. If you'd like to see our unedited stuff that's there, or mountains and mountains of other content that we create, you can go visit our Patreon, patreon.com/badnerds. There's a link down in the show notes for that. If you want to support the show in a way that's not monetarily impactful, the way you can do that is by sharing this show. Share it with somebody. Let's grow our community and enjoy this absolutely masterful piece of television. So until next week, we're going to get ready for... Yeah, what's up, Brent? What's going on?
Listen, I have a little announcement to make.
All right.
We've had a good run here at the show. Mm-hmm. We've been doing this for years now.
A lot longer than we thought we'd ever do.
Definitely. But the end has come. This is my last episode, man.
What are you talking about? Why is this your last episode?
It's just too much, man. Look, the price is too high, and I have to go.
Brent, no, we hear it all the time with our community. Brent, you're valued and you're needed.
I mean, I have to go. Just trust me. It's for the greater good.
But Brent, you are valued. You're needed.
Listen, Anyone who says the greater good, they ain't serving no good.
That's not false at all. So, look, I'm going to take this away from you. You can't go because not only you, but to our whole community, you are valued and you are needed.
I mean, we're not some deep space franchise. This station is about something.
Just for the record, I want to be really clear. This is not my last episode.